It's IKK's Axe Reviews. We're back here with another video. And guys, today was Legacy Day. We're back with Legacies after, of course, Thanksgiving break. And this was, of course, Season 4 of Legacies, Episode 7, called Someplace Far Away from All This Violence. And, it really does speak to that in this episode, because in this episode, as we all know previously from the week, I guess, before Thanksgiving, we really see that, Lizzie is struggling, and she gets put in the therapizing box to really it's therapizing her on the fact of how much she's angry right now at Hope, and how much she feels like she almost went to a dark place to try to save Rick, and we really see that. We saw that in that episode, and she thought of herself oh my god, I don't know what I'm gonna do anymore. That I don't have anybody that's gonna pull me back away from me, from being going that far, going to that level of extreme, because we always know that Rick was always the person that would pull her back in when she either would have a meltdown or something. She was always he was always the person that would settle her down. And since that person is gone, it's she's going back to that self that she was. That she's regressing as her and how angry she is that Hope put her father in that situation of him fighting for his life. And we see that through the therapizing box. That's it's a Western time. That's how we start the episode off. And Rick is, he's in prison, and he's gonna be put on death row. Literally, he's it's a metaphor of he's gonna be he's gonna be put on death row, and gonna be hung, and he's he's dying, and we see a version of Caleb where he's oh your father's dead, he's a goner, and all that stuff. It was doing stuff in her own way of being, therapized, and her way of coping with the fact of, okay, this is one problem I'm having right now, but I'm going to make it entertaining, and it being a Western, and me having to, find my sister, and me having to take out the person that's, doing this to my father, and stuff. There's hints to, of course, the Michelson gang and stuff like that. We see that's her version of coping through the therapizing box. But it's going to be interesting what's going to be going on. But I really want to know what she liked about this episode, of, what was going on with either with Lizzie, or what was going on with, Hope coming back to the school. What was your favorite?
I think Hope is really messed up right now.
Yeah, she is.
Messed up. She is, if you remember, Caroline turned off her humanity right after her mom died. Yeah,
and from what I can remember, from, I'm sorry about that, phone's on vibrate. But from what I can remember from Vampire Diaries, and I knew that, from what I remember, I know it's a big deal when someone turns off their humanity because they go insane. They turn off the side that levels them out to the point and makes them know what they're doing. And it's dangerous when you're a vampire or a werewolf, and you know what I mean? But I guess a vampire only can do that, right?
Yeah,
so it's dangerous.
Josie found a journal that Caroline had, and she said mom turned off her immunity at one point, and Caroline went into a downward spiral, and that's where Hope is heading.
Meaning the fact of the only thing that could bring Caroline back is, I guess, a note that was from her mother.
Yeah, her mom wrote her a note that she wrote before she died, and then Caroline burned it. And then when, as soon as she turned her immunity back on, she felt remorse. That was the thing.
Wasn't that the thing that made her, when she burned it? It's oh shit, because she didn't read it. Didn't she just burn it?
She just burned it.
And that really what turned it back on. What have I done? What did I do? And they were thinking that
she didn't burn it. She told Stefan to burn it.
And I guess he did it, and
because I guess I don't like the whole Caroline at all.
I think I remember that. Did they show that? And I think they did show, he lit it, and she, then it turned back on, and she's oh my god, what did I do?
And later season 2, because you only watched season 1.
Because I remember, I think, seeing a scene like that. She's I don't care, and he's okay, and he, lights it or something.
Yeah, he lit it, and then she's oh my god, what I do?
Exactly. I think of something like that.
They had a thing going. I don't like Shine at all. I don't like her with him. I'd rather her be Clash
But I do like that. So, that was their idea. That was Josie's and them idea. And I love how Ethan's so you want us to fake write a note? And burn it? And they're no. And they were all thinking of different ideas. Of course, at this point, Cleo has the idea, and she knows that the only thing that can kill the Tribrid is the tree that Hope, Josie, and Lizzie built. And it's kind of she knows that's the only thing that's going to be able to kill a Tribrid, a.k.a. Hope. Yeah. So at this point, she's withholding that information because she doesn't want people to make a reckless decision Like, of course, how Caleb made a reckless decision on, oh, like, I'm going to do anything I can to save somebody, or, oh, this, and that. Like, people make reckless decisions when they want to save the people they care about. We've seen that through Legacies multiple times.
I really like how...
On multiple fronts.
I like how Caleb is, like, he's a vampire, but he's also a dragon.
That was awesome. I love how, like, he has a new ability that does come in handy. And I'm wondering, it's funny because Jed's like, oh, spread your wings. We're going to do some Game of Thrones shit. I was like, that's funny. That's a good one. I was like, that's funny. He was like, get off me, bro.
The reason why I think Hope is messed up is because she told MJ she would have cut off Pedro's fingers. He's a little boy. They
did. Literally, I love it because MG's idea to, like, make her turn her humanity back on is having, like, an America's Got Talent.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny.
This is a Sour Her School.
Idol. Yeah, I was like, or like American Idol. Literally, Hope pulled a Simon Cowell. Like, she literally, like, got everybody off. She said, X, you're gone. X, you're gone. X, you're gone. Like, literally, no one stood a chance. Not even my man's, like, not even, like, little boy Pedro. That I felt so bad when he's like, I love how, like, Hope's like, I'm not a monster. I'm not gonna tell him, you know, what I'm actually thinking. And he's like, oh, but what do you feel, though? And he's like, I would like to cut off his fingers so we can never do that drawing again. And then they're like, oh, blue lights, because she's telling the truth. And then, like, oh, clapping. And then we see the red X. And I felt bad for Pedro. Pedro kind of knew, like, oh, my God, you know, I failed too, you know what I mean? Like, I felt really bad. But the worst thing of all was when she did, Wait Dirty. I was like, damn.
I felt so bad.
When she's like, oh, I only liked you because of the land, and go sprout your wings and go to whatever island you're from.
Came from.
I was like, oh my God. I was like, you're so mean. But it's so clever. When
she's worse than the vampires Miss Hermano. She's way worse.
I was like, holy crap, she's a monster. But I thought to myself, I'm like, when Josie's idea was to bring back Dark Josie, I'm like, oh, that's gonna be good. It's like because no one is more rude and crude and evil than Dark Josie, and we've seen that at multiple fronts. I was like, she's gonna give Hope a run for her money, and little did I know she did.
I'm scared of Black Josie.
Oh, she did, because I love the moment where she throws the ball, because she's like, oh, you know, I snapped, what was that one girl's humanity back on?
Caroline?
Was it Caroline?
No, Jade.
Jade. She's like, oh, I snapped Jade's, humanity back on just with the snap of my fingers, just like that. And it scared Hope. And she's like, oh, you really think that would work? You could do that to me? And she's like, no, I knew it wouldn't work, but I knew it would scare you. And whatever. And she's like, and she throws the ball, and then and it turns blue, meaning she's telling the truth. And she's like, oh, I just wanted to make sure. I was like, oh, because that's exactly what Hope's been saying the entire time with the whole, you want to make sure I'm telling the truth? And I love it. She's like, oh, I just wanted to make sure. Dark Josie said that. I was like, ooh, that's nice. I'm like, of course Dark Josie's the one that's going to give Hope a run for her money of being crude and rude and evil. No one can outdo Dark Josie. I love that. No, it's cool. It's clever. So let's do what, like, Hope tried shocking her with lightning, and she just goes like that. Josie.
I was like, ooh. She siphoned it.
I was like, that's cool. That was cool. That was nice. And then, of course, like, she ends up, like, speeding her out and chucking her into, like, the glass doors, and then that brings Josie back.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn. I was like, okay, you're not, I guess she did beat you out of it. I was like, okay. But it's like, I thought that one moment when she did hit her out of that state, when she was about to do something, that would break her out of this thing that she was in, the funk that she's in with her turning off her humanity. And I also thought that when we saw Landon on stage, but of course it wasn't Landon, and it was Cleo. I'm assuming she actually found the note that Landon did right, because she knew everything about Landon. She knew everything. But I mean, I don't know if it's because she spent. I think if I'm correct, it could have been something that Landon maybe told her when he was in the dark place. I'm thinking that's what he did tell her, maybe, and we just didn't see that, or maybe we did and I just don't remember. Hence how she was able to write a note, because I don't remember Landon writing a note. So it could be like, oh, Landon wrote you this before, whatever. And, and it could have just been that. All I know is that I thought that would have worked because her eyes were glowing up. She was like, we saw at the edge of her seat when we saw Landon's shadow walk out of the shadows. I was like, oh my God. I was like, that can't be Landon. That has to be like a mirage or something. But it turned out to be Cleo with the ring that she had on her finger pretending to be Landon on top of, the fake note, I guess. But it was Landon's words. Which, I don't know, it just makes me wonder what is going to get Hope out of this funk. I don't know what's gonna do it. Is she gonna like maybe hurt somebody that's gonna get her out of it? I feel like her when I don't know, but it's like you think her hurting, Rick would have got her out of it. But what's gonna be deep enough to get Hope from out of this, turning back her humanity back on? I'm thinking it's going to be when Lizzie actually, by the end, we see her actually killing a version of Hope in that thing. It's like she was trying to it was trying to therapize her and think to don't do this. Be who your father taught you to be. Don't go down that dark path. But she went down it anyways. And when we see, Hope, when Josie says, oh, I'm not going to let you, I'm never going to give up on you, like you never gave up on me, she freezes her and puts her in the therapy box. And at that point, Lizzie's already made her decision saying, oh, that, I already made my decision. I already got therapized and I know what I need to do. Meaning, she said, I'm sick and tired of everybody trying to save Hope. Meaning, I think it would be awesome, I'm not going to lie. And I mean, I don't know how people are going to think on this, but I like how things are getting spicy. I like how things are spicing up. I like how Lizzie wants to kill Hope. I like that. I like how, everybody always forgives Hope, and this is something she should have never have done, and I feel like maybe that's what will make maybe Hope turn it back on if someone tries to kill her, someone close, and be like, you're a monster, and I can't believe you did what you did to my father. Someone that literally treated you like a daughter, and this is what you did to my father. Or maybe at the moment where, something, they're fighting, and then that's when we find out Rick actually died, and that will turn back on. Maybe I'm hoping Hope's shit when maybe she lost another father figure and she regrets what she did. I don't know what's gonna happen because I feel like there's so many things that should have turned back on her shit.
Just wait until the video where we film and
she's sad when he dies. I told her,
and my eyes are red and puffy from crying.
I told Annie, I'm like, if they're gonna kill him off, they should have already killed him off in the episode where it's like he gave that touching speech to Lizzie, and the lights were turning off. That would have been a perfect way, a perfect death, in my personal opinion. And I feel like we're kind of dragging it on. If that's where we're heading, it's kind of like you disserviced him a little bit because it really felt emotional and meaningful at that last moment. I just wish MG wasn't there at the time. I wish Josie was there at the time. They both would have went in, and maybe MG was standing out there on the outside with all the other classmates because all the other classmates were there in the lobby. And I felt like that would have been a really perfect moment if that's how he would have went. And now it's kind of like, I feel like he'll go in a stupid way, and it's going to really annoy me where no one's there, and, they're fighting and doing shit, and they're too distracted, and that's what I'm kind of worried about. So it's like, I don't know what we're going to do, and I don't know what's going to get Hope out of this state of mind, because in the next episode, it's like she's hunting down what, I don't know the name of the, I always keep saying Triad, but I don't think that's it.
That's what you said.
Is it? So Triad, I guess. So she wants to take down Triad. She knows where the layer is, or at least one of them. She gets the weapons. That's why she even goes back to the school.
I wonder if she's going to bring Clark along with her.
I don't know. She was jealous, though, when Clark was dating that girl.
Yeah.
She was jealous. I'm sorry. Everybody can get angry at me that they want, about me, people thinking I'm crazy, that I think Clark and Hope would actually made a good couple. I think they would. They have some sort of connection that clearly the writers are trying to, sprinkle some things on Pepper a little bit, saying there is something there.
Clark and Hope have
something there.
Clark and Hope have a better,
I wouldn't say they have a better connection, but I wouldn't go that far, but
I don't think she would love Landon. I think she really loves Clark.
That's clearly not the case. That doesn't make any sense. She loved Landon, and she cared about Landon. That was her first true love. But people, there's always multiple love interests in a show, or there's hell in real life. There's people fall in love, and there's someone's first love, and then they have other loves in their life and shit. So it's kind of like we cannot expect. I think Landon's gone. Let's just get that out of the way. I think he's gone, never coming back. I think he's gone, never coming back, and I'm okay with that.
No,
I think that they need to move on to a different. She needs to go to a different relationship, and maybe not right away, but I think the writers made a connection that other people have seen. I've seen it on social media. Already people are shipping this. I think Clark and, and Hope would really hit it off. I think they do have a connection, and I'm sorry, I would really like to see it. I would love to see them dabble with that a bit, because I think that is Clark's match. I think that would be awesome. Yeah. And I would love to see how that would go going forward. But we'll have to just wait and see what's going to happen.
I don't like his girlfriend.
I don't know. She alright. I think it's sus that he did tell her about Supernaturals. And I think she's going to do something that's going to, she's going to tell everybody. I think that's what's going to happen. him telling her is going to cause a problem where maybe they all come back and they have to deal with it, or maybe his dumb ass shouldn't have done it, and they're going to go to him and say, Clark, you shouldn't have told her, because look what she's doing, she told everybody, and people are hunting us down now, and I don't know, I feel like that's going to bite Clark in the butt and bite everybody else in the butt in the Salvatore school eventually, and we like dabbled on it a little bit, but I feel like we're going to see Clark a lot more, if not in this season, a lot more next season, because I feel like that is definitely going to be a love interest for Hope. I feel like she was jealous. She's like, oh, what's this girl doing here? You know what I mean? Like, she was jealous. She went to Clark because she likes Clark. I'm sorry. People might not like that I'm saying it, but I'm telling you, it might happen. I like Landon and Hope together, but that Landon's gone. I don't think he's coming back. I hope he's not coming back.
And Clark,
it was meaningful when he died. I don't want him coming back.
I think she is like attracted to Clark because he looks so much like Landon.
I mean, they technically are brothers in a sense, because Malivore hated the mother, and then he had Landon, and he had Clark, and they kind of do look like alike, so maybe that could be a key part why she might like him. I don't know. All I know is that they have a connection.
I would be like, Hope, if there was somebody out there like my first love. You would,
wouldn't you?
I would.
You would, wouldn't you?
I would.
Not a shocker.
I would.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, it's just craziness going on, guys. I'm very curious to know what's going to bring Hope to turn back on her humanity, and what is it going to be, will Lizzie try to kill her? I think that's what's going to happen, because then also in next week's episode where Hope is busy with Triad, we see how Cleo and Lizzie are working together, telling Lizzie about this is the only thing that's going to be able to kill a Tribrid. And I'm going to be honest, while Hope's a little busy with them, I think Lizzie's going to be not too far behind. I think Cleo and Lizzie are going to stab Hope. And I think we might get to the point where maybe she will. I don't know. It's going to be tough. But I don't know. Will they kill Hope off? I feel like they wouldn't, because she's like the main character. I feel like I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure, but I think it'd be interesting if they try to, and maybe that's what makes her turn it back on. I think it sounds stupid, but that's what would make her turn it back on. What will make it turn her humanity back on? I want to know down in the comments below, what do you think it's going to be? Again, these are just theories. That's all anybody can do right now is theorize, and I think my theories are pretty good about, Clark and Hope eventually probably getting together, and, maybe, of course, Lizzie is definitely going after her. We already specified that that's what's happening. Cleo even initially, wants to do that. She's like, but I don't want to make the same mistake I did again, where people can't trust me, and I'm going after, Hope again. I need to make sure that this is the right decision. We have to really, think about something like this. I don't want to tell anybody in case somebody goes behind our back and does something. Hence what, Fitch and, what's his name? Ethan. Fitch and Ethan. Is it Finch or Fitch?
I don't know.
I think it's Finch. Yeah. Is it? Yeah, it's Finch. Yeah, and I think, Finch and Ethan, did something behind their back when they weren't supposed to do it. Because they were upset, of course, to how she was acting. And she's like, oh, she's too far gone. Yeah. We have to take her out. And it didn't work. And, I think Cleo really, put that in the state of mind where, okay, it could have been a lot worse. If I told anybody, because it would have been a different outcome where they could have killed Hope, and it would have been on me because I told everybody. So it's she really wants to think before she tells anybody, but she ends up telling Lizzie, which we all know she clearly doesn't know what Lizzie come to terms with in her therapizing box. Maybe Lizzie's acting like, oh, I'm cool now. Let's what you know what I mean? Tell me what you came up with, and she's gonna do it regardless of what Cleo says. She's out to kill Hope. Regardless, no one's going to be stopping her. She might even betray MG again and put him to sleep or do something to him, because MG might stop her. Be like, I can't let you do this. Yeah. And then that might put her at odds with MG again. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe this could lead into Lizzie being a villain. Maybe Lizzie's like, you keep forgiving Hope and I'm not doing it anymore. Maybe, Rick will die and she will never. Maybe that will set Lizzie off to the point where she hates everybody at that point. Because she blames everybody for trying to save Hope. It's always Hope, Hope, Hope. She's gonna, and it might maybe turn, and then that would make it really interesting when the merge does come, and maybe we see Lizzie just take it from Josie. That would be awesome, but it would be
Don't
like,
say-
I don't want it to go that dark, but it would be sick though.
Don't
Fire.
say Rick's gonna die.
Again, these are theories. I could be wrong, but
Don't
like,
say Rick's gonna die.
oh, he's gonna die, Andy. I'm
Don't
sorry.
say that.
He's dying.
No.
I don't see him coming out of this, and I mean, dude's been on the show for such a long time. He probably wants to leave, but I'm just happy.
The show not
it would be what would be
the
weird.
same without Matthew Davis.
Well, it would be weird because also, like, who's going to be in charge of the school? I mean, like, I feel like we've kind of, like, shown that
Candace said she would come back if, like, possibly.
But I feel like from what we're seeing is, like, Josie's taking over the school. Josie's been the new person in charge ever since.
The twins cannot run the school. You don't know how their dad and mom do it.
But we've seen Josie do that. That's what she's doing now, and I feel like that's going to be her role now. She's been the one taking all the weight from the school. She's been the one being there for everybody else, like a mentor. She's been the one taking charge and getting everybody together. She is in charge now. I think Rick is going to die, and she's going to take over. I think in the will, she's going to be in charge. She's going to be the one put in charge. Or maybe initially both of them were supposed to be put in charge, but after, Rick ends up dying, and, and they just, Lizzie can't forgive everybody else for trying to save Hope and being focused on Hope and not trying to help her find a way to save their father. She might be at odds with Josie from then on out, be at odds with everybody else from then on out. She might be after Hope even after Rick even dies as revenge, and might split them, even though she, in the will, she's supposed to go with Josie to take over the school and, and be in charge. Headmasters. And I'm thinking that's where we could go. That would make it really interesting, guys. I know it probably won't happen, but this is just theorizing what could possibly happen going forward in the season. Maybe this could go on to season 5. If that's how it ends up, maybe they split ways. Lizzie just doesn't want to be with anybody anymore, and she just wants revenge at Hope, and that they're standing in the way of her hurting Hope. And maybe Lizzie will be too far gone. I don't know. These are just theories I could be wrong about, but I'm interested to hear again in the comments below what your theories are. What do you guys think will bring Hope's humanity back? And I just want to know in general what you guys thought about episode 7 of Legacies. I really want to know. It was a really good episode. I really enjoyed it. At first, I didn't understand what the therapizing box was doing. I'm like, what is this? Is this how the whole episode's going to be? But that was just how she was getting therapized in her own coping way. And I did like that. I thought that was cool and clever. So I'm really interested, again, to hear what you guys thought about this episode, hear your theories. I want to know what you guys think about our theories and what we thought about the episode and stuff. But guys, that was the video. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, turn those notifications, like this video. I would love to have you guys here, part of this family on this channel. We're on our way to hitting 500 subscribers. I'm almost there, literally, like, hitting 500. I'm at I think it's like 427 right now, if I'm correct, or I'm not even quite sure. This family's growing so quickly, and, sometimes I keep losing track, but we are moving, guys, to hitting 500 subscribers, and I'm super, super grateful. Yeah, we're at 426 right now, 426. We are making moves, we're making strides, and we're almost there from hitting 500 subscribers. So I would really appreciate it. Again, if you're new to the channel, subscribe to the channel, put on those notifications, and like this video so it helps the algorithm out and it helps push these videos out so more people can come and join this family. But guys, that was the video. We hope everybody has a great day, a safe day. We'll see you guys next Thursday. Peace.